Good day, Pastor Al. I hope you're doing well. Good day. Hey, Brooke girl. Sending you some love and light. I've been thinking about you, Brooke girl. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Nan. Good day, Mommy. I hope everything is going well. Good day, Wayne. Yes, Space Cowboy frame of mind. Hoo-yah. I hear you, Wayne. Loving the energy, loving all the energy. So, we are back on location, Tim, and I think we worked out the kinks. I found a spot in the house where reception is working with the Rev. The reception is working with the Rev this morning, Margaretta. Yes, yes, yes. So we're on location in New Orleans and it is treating us mighty fine indeed, Vanessa. I had my char grilled oysters yesterday. So you know I am set and ready to have it again today. So we are doing it, Simone. We are doing the Lord's Prayer. I hope that everyone is receiving something from the way that we are unpacking the Lord's Prayer from a metaphysical lens. So we're going to continue. So I know yesterday the visuals weren't working so well. I was frozen most of the time, but the audio came through. So I hope that you were able to hear it. And like I just learned, someone did, they just closed their eyes and listened. So we could try that too if that ever happens again. So let's get into it. Yesterday we talked about give us this day our daily bread. And I just want to recap just a little bit about that. So when we talk about give, a definition of give is to cause, right? And who is at cause? The universe, God, the creator, is at cause. And so, cause is giving us a day, every day, right? This morning, when we woke up and opened our eyes, that was a givingness from God that we were able to do that, right? And God gives us this day our daily bread. And we know that our bread is what? Our bread is our sustenance, right? Our bread is our opportunity to practice the presence of God, right? It represents the realization of the presence of God as our reality with a capital R. Yes? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And then I found that very clever term that they use in Britain that describes a commuter, and that is called a daily breader. So I just love that. So we are all daily breaders, right? Because we are commuting, communing, and committed to practicing the presence of God every single day, consistently and with commitment. And so, wouldn't you know it, I'm reading today's Science of Mind daily inspiration. And I just have to share a little bit of it with you because it was just so perfect when we talk about practicing the presence of God. And so this month's, this is Science of Mind magazine. If you don't have it, I really would recommend subscribing. It's just wonderful, and they have daily inspirations that you can read as part of your inspirational reading with your spiritual practice that we do every day. And so this month is provided by Eugene Holden, who was the leader of Science of Mind's World Ministry of Prayer. And so he starts with this quote from Gandhi that I just love. Gandhi said, "An ounce of practice is worth more than a ton of preaching." Don't y'all love that? And then Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind quote is one of the great difficulties in the new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. So I love that because it's about the practice. It is about the practice. And I just want to share this part. He says, I believe perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect practice is about being disciplined and consistent, doing the practice daily, having a whole soul commitment. And he says, we commit to practicing the presence of the divine. Practicing the presence is another way of practicing love, keeping our minds stayed on God, practicing forgiveness, peace, and other qualities of God that resonate with you and the world. So, practicing forgiveness. How many of us practice forgiveness? That's a good practice to have, and it leads us perfectly into today's stanza of the Lord's Prayer. And so the next stanza after give us this day our daily bread is forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. On some versions of the Lord's Prayer is forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. But I'm going with the King James version, right? The classic. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. So let's break that down, right? Because we know forgiveness is a powerful practice, right? Forgiveness is it's an important element of our spiritual growth. Yes? It's an important element of spiritual growth, of nourishing our soul, right? And so forgiveness is all about the givingness of grace, the givingness of grace to ourselves and to others. So I want to share a couple of things from Emmett Fox that I've been referring to around the year with Emmett Fox, a book of daily readings and inspiration. And he breaks down the Lord's Prayer in this book also. So I just want to read a couple of things that he says about this part of the Lord's Prayer. He said the forgiveness of others is the vestibule of heaven. You have to get rid of all resentment and condemnation of others, and not least of self condemnation and remorse. You have to forgive yourself, but you cannot forgive yourself sincerely until you have forgiven others first. If your prayers are not being answered, this is important, y'all. If your prayers are not being answered, search your consciousness and see if there is some old circumstances about which you are still resentful. Mm. If your prayers are not being answered, are you holding some resentments towards yourself or towards others? This is important. If you cannot forgive at present, you will have to wait for your demonstration until you can. And you will have to postpone finishing your recital of the Lord's Prayer too. So Emmett is saying, don't go any further. Don't go any further if you are holding resentments towards another. If you're holding resentments towards yourself, right? That your prayers will not be answered. You are causing stagnation in your flow, right? Unforgiveness is a separation from the divine center that you are. It is separation. When I grew up in the Pentecostal church, the worst thing that that I believed that I could do was to sin, right? Because if we sin, what was going to happen? I was going to burn in hell, right? And I didn't want that. Who wants that, right? So I was like, okay, I can't sin, right? But growing up, a lot of things were considered sinful, right? So the only thing I could basically do was breathe, right? Let me just breathe so I'm not committing any sins. But as I grew in my spiritual growth and my spiritual development, I realized and recognized that sin is simply separation from our source. And forgiveness also causes the unwillingness to forgive, also causes separation. It also causes separation. It will separate you from your blessing. It will separate you from your prayers being answered. It will slow things down in your life dramatically. So if you feel like right now things aren't moving, I feel stagnant, I feel stuck, search your consciousness and see if there is something you are holding. Is there a grudge? Is there a resentment? Is there someone that you need to forgive and let go of? You know, you know if there is. Is there something that you're holding against yourself, right? Some mistake, some mishap, some misunderstanding. Let it go. Let it go. Forgive and set yourself free. Forgive and set yourself free. Yes. So you cannot receive what you are unwilling to give. And that's why forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. That's two parts, right? We're asking for forgiveness as we forgive our debtors, right? So if we're not willing to forgive our debtors, then how can we be willing to accept forgiveness for ourselves, right? We have to be consistent in the flow. There is no inconsistency in forgiveness. Yes? We forgive, and we forgive. And you know what? We forgive as much as we need to and as often as we need to, because forgiveness cultivates freedom. If you're feeling like constricted in any way, check inside and see if there is something that you're holding on to that you need to release and forgive. And forgive frequently and quickly. Forgiveness doesn't have to be a long, drawn out process, right? It doesn't, right? We could go within, get in touch with the love that resides within us, connect consciously with the indwelling spirit, and just ask. Ask and you shall receive. Ask for forgiveness. Ask for support in forgiving someone else. If you feel like, I just can't do it, I cannot do it, but you don't have to do it by yourself. You have the whole universe cheering you on so that you can forgive and release yourself, so that you can forgive and start to feel the flow through your life again. Start to have your prayers answered again. Yes? All right. So we're not holding grudges. We're not holding resentments. And we're doing our best not to judge, right? I catch myself judging all the time. I can be a very judgmental person. But the wonderful thing is I have awareness about it and I could bring myself back, right? I could bring myself back and say, okay, Melissa, you are judging. Let's go into some non judgment. Let's go into acceptance, right? Acceptance is a powerful spiritual growth tool that we can use, right? To just accept people where they are right here and right now. Because sometimes we want people to be someplace else, don't we? We want them to be further down the road than where they are. But guess what? It's their road. So let me get back on my road. Yes? Because I don't want to block none of my blessings. And if you're holding grudges and if you're spending your time and day judging people all day, every day, you are blocking your blessings. You're blocking your blessings because your mind is not focused on that. Your mind is not focused on the blessing. Your mind is focused on the judging, right? And so we know we have to come back into alignment, right? Come back in alignment and know that forgiveness frees us. Forgiveness opens up that floodgate. The floodgates will come and we will receive our blessings. Guaranteed, guaranteed. And so resentment is another form of attachment, right? And I love one of the Buddhist principles is non-attachment. Can we be non-attached? Could we be non-attached to other people's decisions, choices, behaviors, their attitudes, what they decide to do or not do? Can we have non-attachment about other people's lives? It's none of our business. To just put it plainly, it's none of our business. So let's detach from that, right? And let's bring our focus back to love, to loving ourselves and to loving others exactly where they are and exactly for who they are. Because who are we? Who are we? We are our Father. We are related. We are one. Yes? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So resentment will draw the energy of what you resent to you over and over and over again. And it doesn't have to be from the same person, right? We're paying attention to the energy, we're paying attention to the feeling tone, right? So if you're having the same experience in relationships over and over and over again, there is something there for you to release and to let go and to forgive within yourself. Within yourself. Yes? Okay, so let's explore that. Let's go in, because if you can't do that, you're going to slow down the blessing. You're going to slow down your prayers being answered, right? And you're going to slow down your own spiritual growth. But we'll get there. All of us will get there. Yes? It's just our willingness to be consistent, right? And to be disciplined and to practice. Practice forgiveness. Practice forgiving yourself. I forgive myself every day. I forgive myself. Even if I'm not really clear about what, I'm just like, let me just do a full blast forgiveness of myself for today. Because I know I had some thought, some judgment, something that came out of my mouth that probably shouldn't have, right? Let me forgive that. Let me bless myself and let me set myself free. Yes? All right. So, I love the book, The Four Agreements, right? And one of the four agreements is always do your best, right? So, part of forgiveness is knowing and trusting that we all are really doing the best that we can. We really are. When you know better, you do better, right? When you discover another way of being in the world, you practice being in the world in that way, right? When you practice forgiveness, you have a realization that you are really doing the best that you can in that particular time, given the information that you have. And I would extend that to say, given the intelligence that you're using at that time, right? So forgiveness is also about knowing that everybody is doing the best that they can. Given the information that they have, they are really doing the best that they can. And when they really, really, truly know better, they will do better. And when I truly, truly know better, I will do better. And when you truly, truly know better, you will do better. So we forgive. We forgive as we go through the journey of knowing better. Yes? All right, y'all. So I forgive myself and I set myself free. Say that to yourself today. If you ever find yourself in a place of judgment, of holding a resentment, of holding grudges, say, I forgive myself and I set myself free. I forgive whomever it is and I set them free because we don't need that energy tethered to us because we can't move. We're only going to go but so far. And guess what? That thread will pull us right back, will yank us right back because there's work that needs to get done before we can move forward, before we can release and let go. So ultimately, the most wonderful thing is in the mind of God, there is nothing to forgive. There's nothing to forgive in the mind of God. So when we can evolve to that place, when we can have the experience of there's nothing to forgive here. It's all learning, it's growing, everything is in divine right order. There's nothing to forgive. That's true freedom, right? That's the ultimate freedom. But until we get there, we're in the journey of forgiveness, right? Forgiving and letting go. All right, y'all. So there we have forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. So we're going to keep it going tomorrow to the next phase of the Lord's Prayer. I forgive myself and I set myself free. Thank you, producer. That is our affirmation for today. Okay? And why don't you say it with me now, the count of three. One, two, three. I forgive myself and I set myself free. And just take a breath. Is there something or someone that you are holding in unforgiveness? The opportunity is present right here and right now to forgive and to let it go. So there's a powerful releasing that we can do for forgiveness. And I'm going to just share that really quickly. We've done it in our meditating with the moon. We've done releasing rituals. So you could do a releasing ritual for forgiveness for yourself or for others. And it could be something that happened a long time ago, but you're still holding on to it, right? It's still there in your subconscious mind. Even if you're not aware of it, you could feel it, right? You could feel the triggering of it. So, this is what you can do. You could get a piece of paper, write out everything that you need to forgive. Just write it out. So you write it all out. And then when you get to the end, you write out this process, this phase, this phrase. I forgive myself for judging myself as whatever it is. Or I forgive myself for judging Peter as irresponsible. I just made that up. The truth is, Peter was doing the best that he can. I release and I let go. I release and I let Peter go. I forgive myself for judging blank as. The truth is, blank was doing the best that she can. I release blank and I let her go. And we could do that as many times as we need. I remember when I was going through the process of forgiving my father, I had pages and pages and pages of forgiving and releasing the judgments that I was holding. And so it looked something like this. I forgive myself for judging my father as not loving me. The truth is, my father was doing the best that he could at the time. And now I release my father and I let him go. And I just kept doing that until I felt the shift in my body, until I felt the tightness that was holding my heart space open up, right? And so it takes as long as it takes, or it takes as briefly as it takes. So try that on and see if that works for you. All right, y'all. So we'll continue tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern time. Although right now I'm in Central time. It's all good. It's all the same time. Hey, how about that? It's all the same time. Yes, yes, it is. So I am Red Melissa, joining you live on location in New Orleans. Grateful to be here in this beautiful space. Grateful to connect with you all today with grace and with ease. Yes, yes, yes. So if you need support with releasing, with forgiveness, with stagnation, or feeling stuck in your life, please reach out to me. You could DM me and we can set up some time to talk. All right. So we're living life in joy, connected to our yes. Connected to our yes. All right, y'all. It's time for some joy news. It's time for some joy news. So, brief joy news today. So, please join me on Sunday for Living Life in Joy. And I have a special Easter Living Life in Joy show. So, please tune in Sunday, 10:30 Eastern Time. Okay? Also, please check out the Sip with Red Melissa podcast. The series right now is the Spiritual Partnership Series. Please check that out. I will be dropping another episode on Saturday, so you can catch up before then. You can catch the podcast on many podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, and others. I want to give a shout out, y'all, to YouTube. YouTube. I need some YouTube love. So, this is what I would ask for you all to do today. After SIP, please go to my YouTube channel, I am Red Melissa, and subscribe. That's it. If you have friends who are not on social media, because I have a couple who are like, they are done with social media. And I get it. If you have friends who are like no social media, invite them to my channel on YouTube. I am Red Melissa. All of my sips are there. All of the Live Life Enjoy shows are there. And it's a good way for you to share it with your circle of friends. Okay? So y'all help me build up my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate some love and attention there because I'm trying to do some things, y'all. I'm trying to do some things on YouTube. And all these platforms have rules, right? You got to have a certain number of subscribers, you have to have a certain number of hours of content, all these things that are required. So I know my congregation of joy will support me in doing that. So please go to my YouTube channel. You can also support my ministry of joy, of course, by supporting my joy line of wonderful joy products that I infuse with the energy and the vibration of joy. My Sip Joy mugs, my Live Life Enjoy shirts, and Connect to Your Yes shirts. So please support the Joy socks. Yes, the Joy, Joy, Joy socks. You can go to my Etsy store, I am Red Melissa, and make your joyful purchase there. All right, y'all. I think that is it for today's morning sip. I hope it was good for you. It was certainly good for me. And those of you who don't know, SIPS is an acronym for spirit and practice. And so my producer is throwing up AsantisJewels.com, which y'all know by now is Gladys Williams, her wonderful. I don't have on any of Gladys's things today. These are from my own my own stash of things. But please, producer, put up one of Gladys's screenshots of her work. There you go. The red right there, y'all. I had the red on a couple of weeks ago. That is called the Orgasm Collection, y'all. Oh, and it is divine. And the necklace turns into a brooch. That flower comes off the necklace. You can make it a brooch, and then you can use the rest of the necklace for a bracelet. It has matching earrings. It is fabulous, right? Because Gladys's work is multifunctional. It's like the Transformers, y'all. It will transform into all kinds of things. It's movable. It's amazing. So I shared before we're going to have a trunk show where Gladys will be featuring all of her collection. So stay tuned for that. Gladys and I will get back to you on a date and we'll let you know when that's going to happen. Yes? All right. Thank you, producer. All right, y'all. I think that's it. Oh, my producer's on it today, y'all, because I'm on my phone and I can't see everything. So, Hero Hoodies, support Hero Hoodies. Producer, you have any updates? I guess not. So, no updates today. Oh, wait, we got a Hero Hoodie update. All right, Sekou Rice is going to give us a Hero Hoodie update.
There's
Hey,
updates
Sekou.
every day. There's updates every day. There's always something going on. Always something going on.
Sekou, I'm on your time. I'm on Central
That's
Time.
right. We're on the same time. We're in the same time zone. That's nice. That's nice. Central Time.
What's
What's
going
up?
on?
What's going
What's
on?
up, Central?
What's up? So as usual, I want to respond to the sip first. I want to respond to the sip first. You said some great things, and I was taking some notes. And I want to see if you know who gave this quote. The quote is, "Resentment is corrosive. Resentment
Resentment
is
is
corrosive."
corrosive.
That's deep,
Is
right?
that Bob Proctor?
You know who that is? That's
Who?
Iron Man. Iron Man in the Avengers movie.
Ah,
Tony
Iron
Stark.
Man. All
Iron
right.
Man. Iron Man. So it just goes to show you that the universe is talking to you all the time if you choose to pay attention. And you can
Yes.
read Rob Proctor. You can read the resources that you're talking about. You can also find wisdom in movies all around you. So as you were talking about resentment, I remembered that quote from Tony Stark, Iron Man, in the Avengers movie. Resentment is corrosive. Also, you were talking about forgiveness, and that reminded me of this prayer I learned from my mom. It's called Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian prayer of forgiveness, and it's just, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And sometimes she prints that out and mails it to people. So I get a reminder every once in a while of the power of that prayer, and your sip today reminded me of that. So I
Yes.
just wanted to respond to those things. Yeah, and what you said about resentment being an attachment was really deep. I saw someone else commented about that, because you want to let
Mhm.
go of that attachment. You don't want to be pulling resentment towards you. All right.
Absolutely.
So that said, back to the Hero Hoodie update. I want to I want to talk about kids for a second. I'm gratified that so many folks are buying hero hoodies for their children, and I've got some photos. And isn't this just adorable? Look at these.
Oh my
Look at these
goodness.
kids. So we've got Jacinta's daughter all the way left, and the two in the middle. Those are two. Those are Lenora's two boys that she adopted, and then all the way right is Lenora's sister Stella. That's her son, and it says, "My big guy's a hero." So let me explain. He is proud to know that because he bought this sweatshirt, a homeless child somewhere will get one too. Y'all should look into it.
Mm.
Be your own hero. So it's just great to know that we've got such conscientious children out there in the world that are becoming a part of this movement. That fills my heart with joy. So I'm really excited about that. And that said, I also just wanted to. I realized I didn't show the pictures from Memphis. So here are the pictures from
Mm.
Louisville. I showed those before. That's
Yes.
Jacinta and Dominique. And here are the photos from Memphis. Had two different women's shelters. And that's the team. There's Lenora and Joy and the Old Path and Hospitality Hub. So yeah, it's been a fun
Mm.
time. Fun time. And I think that's it. You know, in terms of numbers, we're at 109 hoodies given to the unhoused so far. So we've crossed the 100 mark, and I'm really excited about that. And we're looking forward to continuing to build and grow. I thought that this last trip would take me to zero, but no, more boxes showed up, and I'm back in the game, looking for more places
Yes.
to donate hero hoodies to. So if you're interested in joining the movement, the ministry, as you call it, Rev Mel, check it out. Go to giveherohoodies.com, and remember to be your own hero. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Because the Hero Hoodies ministry is happening year round. And you will constantly be replenished. Constantly be replenished. Because why? Because God is our source, right? The Hero Hoodies is part of our daily bread. You're going to be replenished every day.
Right.
And so
Yeah,
it
we are
is.
source. Source from the source.
Yes.
Resource from the source.
Yes, resource from the source. Yes, Simone, it's awesome to teach children the act of giving. It really is. It really is beautiful. And that's also a part of the forgiveness too. There's a giving and there is a receiving when you forgive. So we want to be in that vibration of giving and receiving. And when we hold on, we're blocking not only the gift that we could give, but also the gift that we could receive. So that's beautiful. Thank you for the Hero Hoodies update. Please, y'all, if you want to support, uh, I just saw Vanessa. She said, "Say who's throwing out Iron Man quote." Love that.
There's wisdom
Yes,
all around. There's wisdom all around.
yes, yes. That's great. All right, y'all. So everyone have a beautiful day. We're going to get out and about in this beautiful city. It's about 80 degrees today. And yes, I am bragging about that because we had quite a winter in New York City. So I'm grateful to be in some really nice weather right now. So I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Remember, peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.